is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me, as always, is Willpower and Xavi. We haven't been together in a long time, so we decided to call each other and be like, "Hey, wait, stay up, come to the show, and talk baseball."
Let's do it.
Yeah,
What's
thank
up,
God
guys?
I'm off
How's it
tomorrow,
going?
and I think
I'm awake
I'm
this
off
time,
tomorrow,
guys.
and I think Javi's off tomorrow too. So you're off tomorrow, right,
Hell
Javi?
yeah.
Or tonight,
Weekend free, baby.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
sir.
way we can stay up a little late. We can do the podcast a little bit later. We can watch the Dodger game in 2 hours. Let's go.
Oh, damn! In 2 hours?
Let's
oh
do
yeah,
it.
2
man.
hours. Well, a bunch of games happened yesterday, and we don't have any games today. That kind of sucks, man. But I guess the
Yeah,
season's,
man. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, you're supposed to start the beginning of the season on Monday instead of starting it on Thursday, because Thursday you'll have a day off on Friday, so you won't have those 4-game series.
I
Because it's not
mean,
going to happen like that. So
even if they start on a Thursday, every team could have a 4-game series for the series opener.
not according to ESPN, man. That's the reason why they start on Thursday.
Exactly.
ESPN decides to be like, let me put the games on Thursday, and that way I can put the rest of the other sports on
Right.
Friday.
Yeah,
So
that's dumb.
all
There's
right.
no football right
booty.
now. There's I mean, it's just hockey and basketball, right?
Hockey and basketball, but I think that's the
yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah.
They're making a run for the playoffs right now, so they kind of have baseball in the back end. And I think the opening day is a huge festivity, so they kind of want to capture that on ESPN. So they want to start from 10 in the morning all the way till the last game, which is
Whole
at
day.
7. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that
get
would
it,
be
People
but
that get home at night, they can just put on like MLB Network or something and then just watch like
Yep.
all the highlights from the day.
All the
I miss
highlights.
quick pitch, man. I love quick pitch.
Dude.
yeah, that was
Hell yeah.
needs to be cool.
That was awesome.
I have YouTube TV and they just canceled MLB Network, so I don't get to watch that anymore.
Oh,
Yep.
well, you're gonna have to cancel
bro.
YouTube TV.
I'm right with you.
I know, man, but I just got it like a month ago just for the season. I was so mad.
Do you have T-Mobile?
I do. So
You
I
do
have the
watch-
MLB TV. I can watch the games, but I can't watch like just the baseball highlights for the day.
Oh,
Like
okay.
ESPN used to have baseball
Yeah, to,
tonight,
like, catch
where it
up.
would show like all the highlights from the day and everything, and then they canceled it, so it's just MLB Network, and now I can't even watch that because of stupid YouTube TV.
Yeah.
I don't know. The homie said he could hook me up with a Fire Stick and he could load MLB Network on there. So I don't know. I might do that.
Yeah. Do that.
I got that.
But don't say it out loud because there's people watching.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not the
Alright,
one that's
so
going to get in
Hush, hush.
trouble.
Homie.
All right. Let's go ahead over the topic. We're going to talk about who's going to win the division in each, I guess, league. It makes no sense to have 2 leagues if they have the same rules, right? They used to have different rules. Now they have the same one. So we'll start with the AL. Is that what we want to start? Or do you want to start with the NL?
In my notes, I started with AL, but I mean, whatever. I could flip through my pages. I'm old school. I
Nah.
wite it down, so I got them
Let's-
all in front of me right here.
I write it
I
down
don't-
too.
I don't
I don't
know.
like that computer stuff sometimes.
Hey,
So
I
let's
do
go
too,
ahead and
bro.
do the AL.
I type too slow. I type like this.
OG.
2 fingers.
Well, let's start with the AL, and we'll start with the West,
One
man. We'll
finger,
start on
baby.
this side of the world, and let's get Tony in here. I think he just popped
there
in.
he is.
Late ass Tony, like always.
Late-ass
Hey,
I like that background though.
The virus.
I like that background.
are you at
The
the
virus.
Dodger Stadium?
Iris is here.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Tony.
Dang, it's too loud over there. That's what's going on. He can't hear us.
He's trying to take Vince Scully's spot.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Speak.
No, speak,
Speak, Foo. Speak.
speak, or forever hold your peace.
Should have taken
No.
care of
Is that
this
how it
about
goes?
an hour, bro.
Can you hear me?
You gonna?
Yeah,
can.
there we go.
All right, cool.
All right, you just came into the segment,
Yeah,
but
there
we're
you
gonna
go.
go over to AL. We're gonna start with the East, and then we'll work our way down, and then we'll go into the NL.
You said start with the West.
All right, well, let's start with the West. I
He's
messed
all
up.
like,
You start
Had a
with the
good
West.
one.
Fool.
I'm
Come on.
nervous. The whole panel hasn't been
You're right.
together for the long time, dude. So I'm nervous.
Yo,
I'm nervous
this
when
is the OG right here, dog.
Yeah.
I'm,
Cheers
I'm
for
really
that,
nervous.
guys. Cheers for that.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and start. Let's start with the West. Who's gonna start? And I guess let's start from what is it? Are we going to name all of them in a row, or are we going to just start from just say who's going to win that division?
I mean, we can kind of break it down a little bit. I mean, in the AL West, we got the Angels, the Astros, the A's, Mariners, and Rangers. And in my head, I think there's one team that just doesn't matter at all, and that's the A's. They have no pitching. They have no lineup. They're probably not going to break, 50% wins this year. So they're not even on anybody's radar. I think in fantasy aspect, it's kind of the same thing. Like there's really no one on the
Agent
A's
Angel,
roster
dude.
What's that? I didn't hear what he said. And he's frozen, I think. I think he's frozen.
He's frozen.
What the hell?
You froze.
And then the Mariners, they kind of look good. That Mark DeRosa on MLB Network actually has the Mariners going to the World Series this year, which blows my mind. I don't know how he can have the Mariners beating teams like the Astros or the Yankees. I just don't see it. They have some good pitching. They have a good lineup, but all in all, I don't think they have that I don't know. They don't have that like X factor, that a lot of other teams do have. Like look at the Astros. I can't stand the Astros, but Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker, two young studs that could carry their team to the championship. Honestly, I see the Astros winning the division again.
Yeah, that's an easy hands down.
That's an easy hands down. So do you see any wild card coming from there though?
Possibly I could see the Angels.
Oh yeah.
You know what? That's crazy. I see the Angels as well.
Their lineup it could be scary if everyone stays healthy. Did you guys see the video of Rendon? Sorry, off topic. Did you guys see the video of Rendon yesterday?
Yeah.
Grabbing a fan by the shirt and telling him he was going to kick his ass. That was dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just go into that. What do you guys think about that though? Like that incident? Do you think it's the fans' fault?
Suspension is coming.
You think so?
I think that as a professional athlete, you are in the limelight. You're in the spotlight all the time. You have to have a certain composure about yourself. And it's not just athletes. It's just, people that are on camera all the time. It's like it goes along with the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock thing. If it happened behind closed doors, no one would probably make a big deal about it. But this was caught on camera from multiple views. And I'm thinking this is going to be some type of suspension.
Well, they need to hold the fan accountable as well, though. Like that's one of the things that I kind of feel like you paid to go into the stadium, but you got to respect others as well. You got to respect that there's kids in that stadium. You got to understand that you can't be calling people. Come on, the word that he used, he called them a bitch, dude. Like, come on. He just lost the game at the, so you're kind of like the first game of the season.
Upset.
You're walking by, you're upset
especially
a little bit
against the A's.
Exactly. You just said it. A low market team that has nobody on that team. So I kind of understand. I kind of understand his frustration, but I just think that they need to hold fans accountable too. Like you can't just be talking crap to these players. Like these players are persons too. They have feelings. So
I don't know. It's like when you're in a certain position, it doesn't necessarily have to be sports or whatever. It could even be just at work. If you're in the type of position, like if you're a manager, you're a supervisor, something like that, you have to hold yourself to a little bit higher standard than everybody else around you, and if you don't, you're the one that's going to get in trouble. If an employee has an attitude with you, it's not going to be as much of a big deal as if a manager has an attitude with an employee. Because that employee could easily just go to upper management, go to corporate, which in this case, it's probably going to be like Rob Manfred or, the board for MLB or whoever it is that hands out the suspensions. But I definitely see it coming. Like you're going to have drunk, stupid fans in the stands every single night, and when people are drunk, they do stupid things. And was it a stupid thing to call them a bitch when everyone was watching? Like, yeah, of course. But, it's like, look at all these other sports where that happens, like in football, it's like the fans in football are much more unruly than they are in baseball. Baseball fans are a little bit more composed. So maybe the football players are a little bit more accustomed to hearing, being badmouthed by the fans. But you still have to kind of hold yourself to a higher standard. And in this case, Anthony Rendon, being the veteran that he is, he should have had, you know, the right mindset to just let it out in the back, let it out in the clubhouse. Because in this day and age, when we live in 2023, everyone has a camera in their pocket and everything is recorded.
Of course. Tony,
Yeah.
anything to add?
Yeah, well, I kind of agree with both of you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Yeah, I
I
agree
can
with
hear you.
both of you guys. You know, like Will says, there should be a higher standard for MLB players. There's cameras always there. And then like I agree with Carlos that these fans should be held accountable. Not necessarily held accountable, but like, come on, tone it down. But at the same time, like I agree with like Rendon too, you know, like talk
Yeah.
shit, get hit, you know?
It's hard to think of what you would do if you were in that situation. Like, what would
Yeah.
I do if I was in that situation? Would I take
What
my
would
own
you do?
advice and just stay quiet? I don't know.
I would probably just keep walking.
I don't
Hey,
know
you
because
guys
I've been in
remember?
situations like that before.
I'll give him
but,
one of these, you know.
It's
So remember,
Or like
Go ahead,
your
Javi.
mother, you know, as you're walking by.
Go ahead, Javi.
hold on, I'll wait.
No,
All
go
right,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The shit that happened in the Ron Artest,
you're
you
breaking
know,
up. I couldn't hear that.
him going into the, you know, into the fans and stuff.
You're talking about Ron
Okay.
Artest, I guess, because you were cutting off Ron Artest in Detroit. Yeah, I remember that.
Meta World
That's a
Peace.
Meta World Peace, man.
Do you guys remember that?
Hell yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, things were different in the 90s, though.
Yeah. Okay. So
A lot more
still, I
was
mean, it involves the
a lot more was
fans. You know what I
tolerated
mean?
in the 90s than it is now. Like, look how many like sensitive people are in the world now, you know, or maybe everyone was kind of sensitive before they didn't really show it, and now it's just very accepted to show to wear your emotions on your sleeve, to wear your heart on your sleeve, you know.
Yep. Well, there was not just that, you know, that happened. There was an incredible play that happened on right field with Mike Trout the second. Renfro, did you guys see it?
Yeah, I did see that.
It's a crazy grab. Like he just, I guess he didn't look at the ball and he caught it, and that was just
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
people were saying that it was a 360 no scope.
Yeah.
Have you ever played the, like video games and like 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
saying it was a 360 no scope. That was
360
pretty
no
cool.
scope.
Yeah,
that
they're
was a
already
good play.
saying catch of the year on opening day. I mean, it was a great catch, but
a good catch.
it was his own mistake that he like
He
ended
didn't
up
even take a good route.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't take a good route. He passed it. He was all turned around, and I think it was somewhat skill, but also a lot of luck.
Yeah.
I don't know. The homie sent that video to me, and I was like, I could do that.
I could do that. Shut up.
All right. Well, let's move on, man. Let's go ahead and move on to the West. We already talked about the Astros winning it. The Angels. Do you guys agree with the Angels winning the wild card spot?
I don't know. That's a little hard because
How many wild card spots
you have
are
three
they now?
divisions, and the AL West I think is
Nope.
it's the middle division.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
you have one strong division, one moderate division, and one very weak division. And I think the West is right in the middle. The AL East is probably going to have one of the wild cards at least. Possibly the West could if the Angels actually stay healthy and do what they actually can.
Yeah. Well, look, I think they're coming off both of the top players in the MLB coming from the WBC on a high note. Both of them made it to the championship. You have Ohtani there, and you have Trout. So they were leading those teams to try to win the championship, which Japan did, right? So momentum has a lot to do with it. I feel like when a baseball player has that momentum, or they have that, I needed that camaraderie to make it to the championship. Because think about
Yeah.
it, Trout has only made it once to the playoffs. So I feel that's just gonna kind of, you know, translate into the season and try to push for these guys to make it to the playoffs. I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to win the World Series, but maybe the playoffs, and a lot of things could happen in the playoffs. Look what happened last year. You had the underdogs beating the top dogs of the league going into like the World Series, except the Astros. The Astros were the top team, but the Phillies, they came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah,
and
they
went to
were the
shouldn't
wild
even have
card,
made
right?
the playoffs. They made it in by half a game because they won the
exactly.
last game and the Brewers lost the last game.
Exactly. So, I'm picking the Angels. I know Jose Velasquez said there's no way that they can make it. But I just kind of feel that momentum can be that. So if you feel that there's no other in the West, let's go to the Central then. Who do you guys got? And let's start with Tony on this one. Tony, who do you got winning in the Central?
Um, kind of a toss up, but I think
That one's a
I
tough
think
one
the
because it's
Twins do it because
the
a lot of
Twins.
the teams aren't great, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
this is
it-
definitely the weakest division in the
yeah,
league.
so it's the Twins, the White Sox, the Royals, the Tigers, and the Guardians. And if
Yeah.
I had to choose between them, I would say more than likely the Twins. I feel like they did a lot of um, Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan. I think their pitching staff is pretty solid. And compared to some of the other guys, the Guardians just losing out on McKenzie. I don't see anybody else other than Beaver and McKenzie at the Guardians.
Mm-mm.
So I feel like the Twins will probably be a little bit deeper. I like Duran as a possible closer. So
You don't think the White
Twins,
Sox got anything?
if they can stay healthy, Tim
That's the
That's
problem
that's
with
Anderson,
them, huh?
that's the
Grandal,
biggest issue.
you
Yeah,
know, who else? The outfielders, Eloy and Roberts. They
Luis
they always
Robert
they always
always
seem to
getting
get
hurt.
injured.
Both of them always getting hurt.
So
Yeah.
I do believe the White Sox, like, they would be my wild card for that division. Um,
Not winning the
but
division though.
no, I would probably, if I had to choose the Twins, I feel like their rotation's deeper.
And they're getting is it Maeda? Kenta Maeda back
Yeah, he's
this
coming
season.
back.
He's coming back.
Yeah,
So
but he's kind of been sucking the last couple of years.
well, he's been
So
out. He's been out
he's the
since
fifth.
21.
I see him as like the fifth starter. He's not the same
Yeah.
guy that he was, when he was with the Dodgers. With the Dodgers, he was always kind of like the number 3 guy, maybe a number 4 because the Dodgers rotation was kind of deep. But even in this like type of on this type of team where they don't have the best rotation, out there, he's still probably going to be the number 5. I think his ERA is probably going to be above 4. We'll be lucky to see 120 innings from him.
But
I
mean,
don't.
the him being number 5 should kind of help in some starts for them to push for that division title. And I mean, I know he's not the same pitcher, but I guess because he's gonna be pitching a little bit more and he's gonna help out because he's been in those situations where he's faced aces before, so he knows how to pitch. He knows how to work his way around it. So I don't see the Twins. Like you said, you said the Twins are gonna win it, but I just feel like the Twins. I feel like they're missing something. I know Carlos Correa is there, but you
Buxton,
know, Buxton.
Miranda.
I feel
Um,
like the White Sox could win that division because they do, but they have to stay healthy. They have to stay healthy, or else they're
yeah,
not gonna. Like every year before, we've been picking the White Sox, right? And if we go back to those videos, I think we've been talking about the White Sox ever
White Sox
since
for
we
a
started
long
this.
time. I
Exactly,
mean,
and
they're a well constructed team,
yeah, it's
but
just
health is
injuries.
always an issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. But we saw what Dylan Cease did yesterday. If we can see more from him, 6 innings with 10 Ks.
that's good.
That he was the second pitcher of the season to throw double-digit strikeouts so far. Garrett Cole being the first, and he's followed up by some other great pitchers with Lance Lynn, Giolito. I think I wrote it down.
And that's
So
pretty
his
good,
curveball and
pretty
his
good already.
slider in 2021 were very good wipeout pitches, and they just weren't breaking last season. But I feel like if he can get those breaking balls working for him again, he can be an elite starting pitcher again.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So who are you
obviously,
picking, Will?
he definitely knows his own struggles, So
Yeah.
I'm sure he's been working on it in the off season. I think that the White Sox are actually going to win the division. That's my pick.
Ooh, so me and you agree on something? But they have to stay healthy, right? We're agreeing
Exactly.
that they,
See,
yeah, okay.
I think if let's say like no players in the whole AL Central have any chance of getting hurt. Let's say they all stay healthy for the entire season. The
Uh-huh.
White Sox win the division.
All right, cool. We got two in the White Sox, one with the Twins. Javi, you just made it in time to pick who's going to win the Central.
First one.
Oh man, he keeps cutting off. No, I can't hear. We can't hear you. Silence. Silence.
Mm.
Let's see.
You guys can't hear me?
Now I
we
can.
hear you.
Now we can hear you.
Is it all laggy?
A little
Yep.
bit. Like you're
Yep.
frozen now. You look like the Joker, kind of.
You look like Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
That's who. That's who.
Salvadorian Jack Nicholson.
Is it laggy?
Yes.
Yes.
Very laggy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. While Javi gets his microphone and camera.
Sorry, I got a poor
trying
man's
to work.
laptop right now.
No, don't worry about it, man. We do have a YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you guys want to send an email, we do have the Yahoo account, and it's out in the bottom right there. So, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. All right, Javi, I think we can hear you now, man.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. All right, well, let's go, man. Let's go ahead and move on to the East, and this is the big one because there's 5 teams competing for this division, and I think all 5 teams have a chance at it. Maybe just one team out of those 5 are kind of like reaching, but they're still in the mix. They're still in the mix. So we started with Tony last one. I wanted to start with Javi on this one, but he's not here because he's having trouble. Let's start with Will. Will, go ahead and start on this one, dude.
Some technical difficulties. We all get those sometimes.
Yes.
All right.
yes,
So AL East, we got the Blue Jays, Orioles, Rays, Red Sox, and Yankees. And I think everyone kind of has it in their head. Aaron Judge just came off this historic season. They have Garrett Cole leading the rotation. A lot of people have the Yankees winning the division. I think it's actually going to be the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays upgraded their lineup by adding Dalton Varsho, who is traditionally a catcher, but he is going to play left field for them. And they just have so much depth now. If you look at their starting pitching, Alek Manoah, he was a top rookie a couple seasons ago. And Kevin Gausman, we all know what Kevin Gausman did with the Giants, and then with Toronto last season. I think that Toronto was going to be the powerhouse in the AL East, and
they have Barrios too, man. Don't forget Barrios.
Barrios needs to cut down those walks, dude. The walks where he's walking 4 or 5 guys a game. And if he can cut down on those walks, I really feel like he could be that legit starting pitcher that he was about 4 or 5 years ago before he got like too wild. Like effectively wild is okay, but
I would say
missing your spots that much, it's gonna kill your ERA. It's gonna get runners on base, and then other hitters are gonna have a lucky hit, and then 2-run score all of a sudden.
I would say the Blue Jays winning the division like outright ultimately depends on Barrios being a great pitcher. Not great, but like good, solid. Like sub 3s instead of like high 4s.
Yeah.
So I agree with Will that the Blue Jays are really good, but like Will said earlier, I am one of those fans that just think the Yankees are going to be the ones.
Well, the Blue Jays have one extra year now on their belt. So that experience that they had, last year to this year, it's biting at them. So they're getting older, they're getting more experience, they're playing together now. They're more like I said, older, and of course, you have Vladimir Guerrero that didn't go to the WBC, decided to stay because I think he had a knee surgery, so he wanted to get better for the season. So you have those type of players now that are pumped up, ready to go, and there's a tough division. You still have the Rays there. The Rays are a team that, man, no one really knows a lot about that team, but guess what? They always make it to the playoffs. They're always in the mix. They're always solid. So who's the guy you mentioned yesterday, Will? McClanahan?
Oh, yeah, McClanahan.
Yeah, so these are guys that are ready to play. These are guys that had one of the top records last year, and they lost in the first round, but they know how to get there. They know how to get there. So the Rays, I count them as one of the wild cards. I haven't said that the Blue Jays are going to win the division, only because I feel like they can play together as, like, let's say in a month they'll be good, and then the next month they just collapse. That's what happened last year. The Yankees, they have Carlos Rodon that's not even on the starting rotation yet because he's in the IL. So you have little
Same
things
thing with
here. for the
Severino.
Yankees.
Severino went down also.
Severino, you know, like, so the
Another
Yankees
team
have,
that has like health issues.
yeah, so the East is stacked, but then don't forget about the injuries that are happening to every team that's going on there. The Rays are fully stacked. They are good. They're ready to go. Like, that's
The
what I'm
Rays
saying.
don't really have too many issues with injuries. Like, I can't really
Exactly.
remember,
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
other than Tyler Glass now, I can't really think of anyone that really has any like major injury issues in the past with the Rays.
Exactly. So that's where I have a kind of like difficult. I can write off the Red Sox that I don't think
Wander
they're going to
Franco.
make it.
Oh, that's true.
Wander Franco, yeah, exactly. I don't see the Red Sox doing much. That's the old Dodger team, pretty much. And then you have the Orioles, which they made a good push at the end of the season last year with all those rookies. So I kind of feel like maybe the Orioles, a little inexperienced, they probably will make a little noise here and there, but I don't see them winning the division quite yet or making the wild card yet. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Yankees winning the division and the Blue Jays going in the wild card.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned the Orioles, because I actually have the Orioles lineup. So I have the Blue Jays having the best lineup in the AL East.
And
I have the
they
Orioles
do.
having the second best lineup in the AL East. The
Exactly,
Orioles
they're
actually
good.
have some really, really solid hitters. The problem is they have the worst pitching in the AL East. So
Yes.
pitching is what's going to win the playoffs. You know,
Yep.
you can't make it to the playoffs without solid pitching. You can't get anywhere in the playoffs without solid pitching. Like we saw that with the Dodgers when Scherzer went down. You know, one starting pitcher that is just out for injury or whatever it is, you know, if they're just like sucking, that could eliminate you from the playoffs, especially in the early rounds that are only 3 games.
Yep. Javi, can you hear us now? Can you talk?
I can hear you guys.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
All right.
I see you blinking, but like you're not really moving too much. So sometimes
like,
I can't tell if you're frozen or if you're just not moving.
All right. All right. So Tony, you already
Okay,
said the Blue Jays too?
I'm pretty sure there's a lag, right?
It's a big time lag.
Yeah, there's a pretty decent lag.
Yeah, Tony, you got a fan right here.
Yeah.
You're
What's
like,
up,
yeah. All right. So no one else has a different opinion of the East. Are we fine with that? The Blue Jays and Yankees taking it and not the Rays?
I think the Rays have the chance to get that second wild card spot. I think it's going to be between the Angels and the Rays to get that second wild card spot.
The Angels and the Rays. Gotcha.
It's going to be the Yankees and the Blue Jays that either win the division and get the first wild card, and then Angels and Rays for the second.
All right. Well, German, I don't know how to say this name, man, but he said shout out to the pig. All right, shout out.
Piggy. Yeah. He's the homie, man.
Piggy Smalls?
Piggy, you don't remember Piggy?
No.
I don't know. He's the homie.
Well, you need to maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know.
Yeah. German, bro. German pig. From with Douglas and them.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, you know him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
What's up, man? Thanks for watching.
We've got the top picks for the NL. I mean, the AL. You guys want to move on to the NL?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
All right. Javi keeps having problems with his computer, so whenever he fixes
Gonna put
it,
him on timeout, bro.
Yeah, we need to get him back because I wanna see if he's willing to give up one of his players in a trade in our keeper league.
All right. Let's start with the East on this one, since we ended with the East and the AL, and since we're all kind of like a West Coast type of division.
Yeah, that
baseball.
way we
So,
can
let's
start.
let's go ahead and start with the East. Will, who do you got winning the East and the NL?
This one was actually tougher for me than the other divisions. I think it's going to be between the Braves and the Mets. I think the Phillies just had a lucky run last year, and I don't think they're going to have any type of season like that this year.
With
Uh,
the addition of Turner as well,
yeah, but
that's a
it's
big statement, bro.
like, but what I just said
Huge.
in the previous division, or in the previous division we just talked about, is pitching is what gets you to the playoffs, and pitching is what gets you into the next round of the playoffs. And what we saw from Nola last night, he has too many of those clunkers. He is supposed to be the ace of the Phillies. And when your ERA is close to 4, like he's going to strike out 230 guys this season in 180 innings. He's a high strikeout guy, but he makes way too many mistakes. And you can't really do that in Philly because guys are going to tee off, and it's easy to hit a home run in Philly, you know. When he plays in other divisions and goes to other ballparks, I feel like that's going to help him a bit. And now that the juice ball isn't a factor anymore, that's kind of helping him a bit also. But he just allows way too much hard contact, high in the zone, and balls just fly.
Dang. So you're keeping the Phillies out. You have the Mets and the Braves.
I got the Mets and the Braves as as one of those two probably going to win the division. I think I give the slight advantage to the Braves because the Mets have just I feel like they don't have that team chemistry. And not only that, but with Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, we just saw Justin Verlander go on the IL before he even made a start this season. And Scherzer with his shoulder issues and the frozen arm, and that these things that have been going bad for him for the past 2 years now, I think that's going to have a major role in the playoffs this season. I don't think that he's going to be able to, unless the Mets are smart about it and they're if they're already leading the division, they need to give those guys a break before the playoffs start. Give them 5 innings and just to keep them fresh, but not overworked. You can't have these guys throwing 100 pitches a month before the playoffs and expect them to be able to keep on doing that when they're almost 40 years old. Their arms can't handle it anymore, as we've seen. Justin Verlander came off an amazing year. He's Cy Young winner, 1 year removed from Tommy John surgery, and he was great. But look what happened before the season even starts, and he hits the IL already.
So, all right. So, I'm kind of quiet on this one because you didn't pick the Phillies. You're saying the Phillies are not going to make it. The team that I feel is not going to make it is the Mets because they signed these older players too late. I feel that that team is kind of built the wrong way. They signed a bunch of old people. They don't have Diaz at saving games anymore. He went down. You have Verlander. You said it in one of our texts, Will, that it's going to take longer for him to heal. You're right. When you get older, it takes a longer time to heal. Then you have Scherzer. So I don't see the Mets making the playoffs this year. And maybe I'm wrong, but it's just I feel like they are a little bit too old. I feel like that's not going to connect. And you just said it right now. The team chemistry for me, it's a huge thing, and I don't see it with the Mets.
It's not there, and we see it in the Braves. That's actually I have the Braves as my pick to win the division. I think the Mets are probably going to get the wild card though, because I still think that they're the second best in that division. The National League Central is pretty weak. There's one team that kind of is just better than the other 4, and the other 4 are one of them is good, but then the other 3 are weak. And then the West, it's going to be Dodgers and Padres. Obviously.
Wait! But we haven't got everybody to pitch into the East, man. You're getting too ahead of it.
I'm sorry.
Jamal, what up? We haven't picked the AL Cy Young yet, but we will get into it as when we've done with the
Clanahan.
So we'll go ahead and do
Callahan.
That's because that's your boy.
That's my boy. I love Clanahan. Give me some Clanahan. Shane O'Mac.
Tony, you haven't told us who's going to win the East, man. I already said the Braves are winning the East, and I feel like the Phillies are going to win the wild card on that, and they're going in for sure.
Yeah, I under the same kind of agreement. The Braves
they're more full. The team is more full. It's more united.
Definitely.
They're well-rounded. They're very well-rounded.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the pitching staff is pretty deep too, as we've seen. Uh, they just have guys waiting. I feel like they're like the Dodgers, like their pitching staff, in minor league is just so good. It's just ready. They're just waiting. Like the Dodgers have like Grove, Miller. The last a few years ago it
Trevino.
was May, Goslin, just
Mhm.
Yeah.
chopping at the bits to get in there. And I feel like the Braves have the same type of rotation or the same type of pitching staff in their minor league system with Fried, Soroka's coming back pretty soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Um, who else? They have Wright coming back soon,
Strider.
Strider,
Ryder.
so I like Will mentioned earlier, just pitching is what's going to ultimately win you that championship.
Yeah.
Offense is needed, and so is defense, but um, pitching
Yeah.
takes you deep into the games. So I feel like the Braves are going to win that division, and Phillies. I have Phillies as my wild card as well.
Yeah, because they have hitting, and you forgot to mention one thing. Bryce Harper's not in the lineup right now, and he should be back around July, right, or
Yeah,
June, I
I
believe.
Will.
think they said June. I think that
June,
they said, yeah, I think they said right
perfect
after the
time.
All-Star break.
Perfect time for them to pick it up. They have the hitting to do it. They could pick one pitcher up from a trade, and guess what? They'll beat out the Mets, and they'll
That's
battle
the
it out with the
thing.
Braves.
That is definitely the thing that I see with the Phillies is they need to make some type of midseason move to be a legit contender. I think that the Mets took a big hit losing Edwin Diaz. They don't really have a closer right
Huge.
now. I think they were planning on David Peterson, but then now he's in the starting rotation. So I don't know what their plan is or who they're going to have as their closer.
Robinson, I
But
believe.
that's another thing that is
Up in the
probably on the
air.
Mets' mind, that they want to do a midseason move and get a bullpen piece from a non-contending team. I think the secret to the Brave success is probably going to be Charlie Morton, because you can really count on Max Fried and Spencer Strider. In my head,
Yeah.
Max Fried had a 2.70 ERA with an expected ERA of 1.75 last year. 1.75 ERA, so he was a benefactor of bad luck last season, and he still ended with a 2.70 ERA. Spencer Strider had a 2.67 ERA, expected ERA of 2.39. And then you also have Schuster coming up, one of their minor leaguers that Tony was talking about, that had a 3.29 last season in AAA. So
Yep.
that could definitely translate into MLB. Especially in his first season in the bigs, because a lot of major league pitchers haven't seen him yet. So they're not going to be able to figure him out
Yeah.
until after a few months goes by. So I definitely have the Braves winning the division if Scherzer and Verlander can stay healthy. That they also have Kodai Senga, who they signed from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Kodai Senga had a 2.25 ERA last year with 159 Ks and 148 innings. So I could see him being a legit number 3. Carlos
Yep.
Carrasco, Tony's favorite Cookie Monster. Uh, He's a solid number 5 starter. I don't know why they have him number 4, because actually I see David Peterson a little bit better than Carrasco.
Yeah, well, all those are great points, Will, and good thing you mentioned all these things, because I honestly feel like you're pushing, not pushing, but you're picking the Mets, and I do see the Mets making that push or making that run for the playoffs. Every team is, right. They made these big old signings. They got their 2 starting pitchers, but like for me, I'm gonna go with the Phillies. I feel like the Phillies are more equipped to making it further further into the season, winning that wild card, and giving the Braves a little bit of a competition there. I'm not saying the Mets aren't, but it's just I feel like they're gonna get to that point where they're gonna hit that dead arm part, and they're gonna rest pitchers. They're gonna need that closer. They're gonna need some of those players to rest up, and they don't have that depth. So let's go to the Central, man. Javi, can you hear us? Not
He
yet. I
froze
guess
again.
he froze again. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the Central, and Tony, let's start with you, since we started with Will with the East, and who do you got in the Central winning the division? And do we see a wild card coming from there?
I mean, maybe. uh, in the Central, I have down. I couldn't make up my mind because I like both teams for different reasons.
Uh-huh.
It's and I'm pretty much think Will is in agreement. I think everybody will be because this division is a little weak, but it's also kind
Very
of good. But it's also kind of good. I mean, the Cardinals and the Brewers are ultimately my choices out of the NL Central.
Mhm.
The Brewers have a pitching staff and a bullpen that rivals any team, but their offense isn't great. And then I feel like the Cardinals have a okay pitching staff, but they have a great offensive
Yep.
staff.
They
You
do.
know,
And
so
I
defense.
have it. I have exactly the same thing. I think the Brewers' rotation in the Central is definitely the best rotation in the Central. I also think that the Cardinals have the best lineup in the Central.
yeah.
So I think I think they're both number 1 and 2.
hmm
Cardinals have the best lineup with the second best rotation, and then the Brewers have the best rotation with the second best lineup. So that is going to be another toss up. Who did you say you have winning the division, Tony?
Ultimately, just the Brewers because pitching wins in
Yep,
my eyes.
that's exactly what I was thinking, man. How can you go wrong with Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Eric Lauer, Freddie Peralta? Wade Miley is whatever,
Yeah,
He,
but Peralta's the X factor there.
exactly.
If he can be the guy that we saw in, I forget if it was 2020 or 2021. Um, the guy was just awesome. Like I
Well,
think he was sporting like a
after you face
12K
all those
per nine.
studs, yeah, after you face those studs and you get to wait, what is it, Wade Miley at the end?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have good games, I feel.
Well,
So but don't forget the defense the Cardinals have.
he
They
had a
did
no
go
hitter, right?
who? Wait,
Wade
who?
Miley.
Wait,
Probably. I think like
Didn't
there
he
were
get a
like
no hitter when like everybody was getting no hitters?
yeah, there
like
was like
7, 8 no
86 no
hitters.
hitters that year.
Yeah.
Hey, don't count him out, bro. He's got a no hitter.
He could go back to that. But don't forget, like I said, don't forget the Cardinals do have a great defense. They can make a pitching staff look better than what they're supposed to, right?
Yeah.
They have a great defense, and they don't have Yadier Molina back there anymore, but they do have Wilson Contreras. So he's one of the top reasons why the Cubs won it back in. Did he win it in 17 or what is it, 16? And it's a long,
It
long
was
time ago.
16.
Yeah, 16. So
Well, I remember Ross was their starting catcher. I don't know if Contreras might have been the backup.
after or backup or something, but he learned from them, and now he's going to St. Louis, where everybody becomes a star there. Like it doesn't matter who you are, they become a star, and they can navigate the pitching staff
Yeah.
with that defense. So it's going to be a tight race. I kind of see the Cardinals winning that division, and I'm not saying that the Brewers don't have a good pitching staff. It's just I feel like hitting for the Cardinals is a lot better than the Brewers, and that defense is going to make that difference.
I wouldn't say a lot better. I think that the lineup is definitely better, but
lot better.
I think that the Brewers are just slightly worse than the Cardinals lineup. Because if I know Christian Yelich playing like the MVP that he once was, but they have Yelich, Adames, Jesse Winker now, who I could definitely see a bounce back year from him. William Contreras, who they just got from the Braves, and he's going to be the starting catcher playing every single day. And Rowdy Tellez, that's probably going to hit 30 home runs. So they're going to score a lot of runs. They're going to get a lot of these guys are going to have close to 100 RBI.
Yeah. I just see it different because I don't see Yelich coming back. It's kind of like a Bellinger to me. Like they lost. I don't know what happened to this player where he
Yeah.
can't
Belly
gain
alone.
it. Hopefully he proves me wrong. I
That's
wish
my boy right there.
I wish he proves me wrong.
Where's
because,
Where's my Cubs hat? I was gonna wear my Cubs hat today and I
how
forgot.
come you didn't pick the Cubs, Tony?
They are a dark horse. I feel. I mean, they're gonna be they're gonna be okay, man. I feel like everybody's just counting them out like nothing. And the addition to
they have a
Swanson,
good.
Bellinger, Mancini, and
Wait.
them
Did you
finally
just mention
having-
Bellinger top of one of those three? Oh, come on, no.
Dude,
There's other players.
I didn't say they were gonna be MVPs. I said they were gonna be a dark horse, and people should not count them out or write them off as much as they are. You know, give them a little more credit. They do have Stroman, Tyon, and then Steele. Steele was okay last season. It was his rookie year. I feel like they're going to be decent. I feel like they're going to be a lot better than teams imagine or people
Okay.
think.
I don't feel like the Cubs can be. I mean, yeah, they're a dark horse. I agree with you, but yeah, I got the
Better than the
Cardinals.
Pirates and the Reds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for
That's-
Can
sure.
you guys hear me?
Yes. Who do you got, Javi? Who do you got in the Central?
Okay. Okay. Cool. It's probably my video that sucks.
Yeah, we just do it like this.
Yeah, just
All
do it
right,
like
fuck
this,
it.
man. Who do you got?
Okay, we're going Central. Shit.
NL
I'm
Central.
gonna go. I'm gonna go with the St. Louis Cardinals, man.
Oh, two
I
against two right
like
here.
I like their little lineup, dude. That dude Newt Bar. I
Newt
think
Bar.
that's the dark horse on the Cardinals.
And he's
their
coming off
pitching- their-
of a high right now.
yeah, their pitching is a little iffy. I could
Yeah.
understand that.
That's the problem. Is Jack Flaherty can't stay healthy.
Yeah, I was about
Right,
to say
on
him.
IL already. It's,
Yeah, I was about to
I don't
talk
think you
about
can
him.
count on these guys. Like Michaelis is okay, but
Yeah,
he's the type of pitcher that he relies on the infield to do a lot
Yeah,
of work for
ground
him.
power.
He
Ground ball
induces
pitcher.
so many ground balls. That's why he doesn't get that many strikeouts. He could pitch 200 innings and probably end the season with 130 strikeouts.
right.
And
I
He's lucky that he has
I
that
can see
infield behind him.
I can see what you guys mean about with the Brewers and their pitching. Their pitching is fucking stacked, dude. But I don't know. It's something about the Cardinals, bro. Like it's
It's the
I don't
Cardinals.
know,
man.
man.
It's a young
It's
team,
Cardinals,
dude.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, Newbar, Donovan,
Goldschmidt.
Walker. You know, those three guys
Yeah.
are the rookies.
yo,
that coming in.
they got one of the best third basemen, Arenado. Come on, dude.
Arenado.
And one of the best first basemen in Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt. Those are Gold Glovers right there. Like I said, the defense. The
Mhm.
defense for the
Exactly.
Cardinals, it makes the difference. So that defense can make any pitcher look great on the mound. So,
Carlos, who's that short?
Huh?
Who's that short with the Cardinals?
Who's that short with the Cardinals? I want to say, dang, you got me on that one.
That's
Um,
what I just started wondering, and I was like thinking about the infield.
It's not Donovan.
Who-
No,
who's
he's
up,
in
who's
the
up the middle? Who's up the middle?
Colton
Forget.
Wong. No, Colton
No,
Wong
Wong's
is
gone.
Golden One is gone.
Oh,
Damn,
hold up.
someone needs to
I
research
have
that
a-
one.
I have the picture right here.
That's a
When
good
I was
one because
doing
I
my
Is
research
it
earlier.
DeJong? Paul
is
DeJong?
it the John?
Heck no, I hope not.
Oh,
Tommy-
Edmund.
Tommy
fool.
Edmund.
Edmund.
Oh, Edmund, there you go.
There
Okay.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Hey, he's good,
good.
man.
He's good defensively. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
There you go.
He
Man,
said
we all
DeJong.
had a brain fart.
I'm like, DeJong, shit. I mean,
hope not, man.
he's still on the squad. Fuck.
Oh, and Tyler O'Neill also. Tyler O'Neill.
Oh yeah, in the
yo,
outfield.
yup.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
sir.
has a 2020 potential. I could see him.
See, y'all didn't think about that shit, right?
I mean, yeah, we did, but it's like Tony and I were saying earlier, pitching is what wins the playoffs. Pitching is what gets you to playoffs, and the Brewers might actually have one of the best rotations in baseball.
The
The best
bullpen
rotation in
too.
baseball.
I can see it.
Bullpen's decent, man.
That's
bullpen.
debatable. That's debatable. I
Hey,
just feel
we'll
like
we'll come
the
back to
Brewers-
this playoffs.
Okay.
Come playoffs.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the West, man. And this is where we're kind of don't
Super
be biased.
biased.
Yeah. Don't be biased.
Super biased.
Yeah,
But see,
it's
like,
like,
I
go ahead, Tony.
Go
Start.
ahead, go ahead.
Start it off. Start it
all
off.
right. Well, I actually have the Padres winning the division,
Okay.
and
Damn. Okay.
and the Dodgers are gonna be the wild card. And
Okay.
this time around, we're gonna beat them in the divisional final or division game. But yeah, I think the Padres more than likely. What worries me about the Dodgers is just hopefully their pitching staff stays healthy. And they're just kind of young, man. It's just kind of I just worry too much. I feel like the Padres are a little more. Their offensive power is.
Too much.
Yeah, So and
You
if
think-
Especially when Tatis comes back.
if the Dodgers aren't going to be healthy towards the last stretch, that's definitely what is it, like 1 through 6? The Padres are like really, really heavy.
1 through 4.
I want to say 1 through maybe
Because
4 or 5.
they got Cronenworth, Matt Carpenter, and Hosseong Kim batting 4, 5, and 6 right now. And
This dude says the Padres with the Dodgers hat.
I just did.
Hey,
Honestly, but I feel like it's gonna be.
remember when Tony was a Giants fan, and then he was an Astros fan, and then he was a Dodgers fan, and then now he's a Padres fan?
I'm
For
telling
real.
you guys, it's
Well,
gonna happen.
wait. I
We're
think that
gonna
was
win
pretty
though.
cool.
I'm saying we're gonna win. I'm saying we're gonna win ultimately. But like, yeah,
This
I don't know.
dude, come on. Man. That's a good one,
calling me
Jose.
out over
Hopefully,
there. Yeah.
hopefully, I expressed it how you wanted me to say it.
This dude.
This dude. All right, Will, who do you got, man?
I think that the lineup, even when Tatis comes back, it's pretty close between the Dodgers and the Padres. I think they're pretty even. I think that the Dodgers definitely have a better pitching staff than the Padres do.
Okay.
I
Let me
agree.
see. Blake Snell, he's been pitching like crap since he left the Rays. Nick Martinez, he's all right. Michael Wacha sucks. Seth Lugo is usually out of the bullpen. They have him as a starter.
I think he's gonna
And
start. Yeah.
Yu Darvish, I don't understand why they don't have him as a number one. Maybe because he was in the WBC for so long, so they're giving him like a few days
More
rest, so
innings,
he's not
yeah.
at the top of the rotation. But I mean, you got one legit good starting pitcher out of all 5 of those, whereas you look at the Dodgers, who start off with Julio Urias, who is close to a Cy Young, Kershaw, that when he's healthy, he's Cy Young potential, and Dustin May. If Dustin May can cut down on the walks, this guy throws 101 mile an hour sinker.
Yeah.
Ryan Pepio is also really good. Tony Gonsolin, when he's healthy, he's really good. Noah Syndergaard, I think that guy, he's probably going to get hurt midseason, and he's just going to be an afterthought towards like the playoffs. So I mean, he's fine for now, but I don't see him being in the Dodgers rotation long term. So I don't even count him, but he's more of like the 5th starter anyway. So
Okay.
lineups are pretty even. Dodgers have the better pitching. I have the Dodgers winning the division. I have the Padres getting the first wild card spot.
Gotcha. Javi, who do you got?
Man, do you even have to ask me that? Come on.
But,
No, look, okay, so look, I can see the argument with Tony, him picking the Padres. That lineup is pretty scary. But I don't like their pitching. I've never
Yeah.
have, and I never will. Blake Snell is trash to me.
Garbage.
He's garbage, dude. And then it's like
Can't
Will
even get
said,
out of the 5th inning.
yeah, it's like Will said though. Like I don't understand why Yu Darvish didn't start that first game. I don't get it. You know,
Okay.
their offense is. I mean, I can see when Tatis comes back. You know that lineup is going to be a little bit more scarier.
Scary.
But I really do like the Dodgers pitching better than the Padres. And even then, like if you look at the back end of the rotation, they got a lot of dudes. They got a couple guys in the minors that they're ready to bring up. Like Pepio, and he got tagged a little bit during spring training, you know. But then there's this other dude that actually have him on the NA right now, Stone.
Yeah, Devin Stone.
Right.
Mhm.
So these guys know how to bring up their young pitchers, dude.
Yeah.
So if one guy goes down, they're gonna have somebody ready to go.
That's why
don't-
it's
it don't
great
matter.
to have depth. It's
Yeah.
good to have hitting depth and pitching depth. And I feel like the Padres don't have that because they traded away so many
Yes.
pieces to get the guys that they have in their lineup right now.
It's like look who's pitching. Look who's pitching tonight. Nick Martinez.
yeah.
He was like a RPSP last season, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a mid relief guy.
You know, and he's decent, but he's not really a you know,
He's
you
not a
can't
number
really-
2.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
definitely not a number 2.
Exactly. So it's like, all right, who do you got after that? Who's pitching game 3, the third game? Does
Snail.
anybody know?
Michael Wacha, I think it said.
It's a walk.
Yeah, Michael Wacha.
Oh man,
Michael
Walker
Wacha
was
and
good
about
with
right.
the
Seth
Cardinals.
Lugo, who were both from the Cardinals, and the Cardinals their coaching staff does amazing thing with pitchers, but
Yep.
the Padres coaching staff does terrible things with their
It's
pitchers.
shit.
They just
I don't like it.
they don't develop their players very well. It's like if the
Yeah.
players don't start out good, they don't get any better with the Padres coaching staff. I think that's the biggest issue with the Padres is they're
Yes.
paying this money and getting guys like Machado, Eric Hosmer before when he had that World Series run, and trading for Juan Soto. That was like the biggest thing, but it kind of left them dry. Like right now,
Dude,
it's like win or die.
dude, and my thing is, okay, you have this offensive juggernaut, and then you lose to the Rockies yesterday. What?
It's only one game. It's only one
I
game.
mean, I understand, but it's like, I missed out on all the other like
He
predictions,
said he
with the
lose to the
divisions.
Rockies.
Hold on. So I was gonna say something about the whole Angels thing, right?
Yeah.
Like if you put your best pitcher out there and you can only get one run in, what you got? You got a really good offensive lineup, and you only give your pretty much your best pitcher one run. Like that's horrible. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's the one of the biggest
Yeah,
issues
maybe some pizza.
with pitchers that are of the caliber that the Padres have. It's you need run support. And if you don't get that run support, if the Padres have a bad day and they're just not hitting, then it's going to suck for them,
Dude,
especially
and then
because their pitchers are probably going to give up 4 runs.
dude,
With
and
with
then
all these guys having ERAs close to 4,
yeah,
they're giving up 3-4 runs a game.
dude,
And
and then think about it. Even if Tatis, when he comes back, he's gonna be rusty. You know that. He's gonna
no,
have to.
because he's been suspended for the last, I don't know, 6 months or whatever it is.
Millennia.
Before that, it was injury.
Yeah,
I think that during the suspension, he's been working on a lot of stuff.
bro.
I think he's going to come back and he's going to be very strong. I think Tatis is going to have something close to an MVP season.
Damn, that's bold, bro.
That is.
I like
Look.
Machado on that team. I don't know. That's just me.
All right, puras fallas on here, man. I got you. All right, so I haven't given you guys
What is Payas?
fallas like
you're messing up.
misses. You're
Yeah,
missing. You're messing up. You're messing.
Hey,
You're messing up.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
I give you my rundown of the other shit that I missed because I fucked up.
Yeah, go for
I'm
it.
not gonna.
Go for it.
I'm not gonna do like a synopsis on everything.
Yeah, go
So
for it.
okay, all right. So in the AL West, I got the Astros because they're an offensive juggernaut and their pitching is pretty good. Uh, no, maybe the Rangers come out as a wild card. Central,
Rangers?
yeah.
Oh shit.
Even though DeGrom took a dump yesterday.
That's the thing is DeGrom
Yeah.
has to be DeGrom for
Yeah,
the
but
Rangers to
but I
actually
mean, it's his first game.
relevant.
It's he's coming
the
back
first
from
game.
a lot of injuries and shit. So I could see that happening.
Okay.
Okay, AL Central, I got the White Sox. I have
Okay.
this thing about Dylan Cease this season. I don't know, dude. I was talking to my brother yesterday, and I told him, dude, this was gonna be a strikeout machine.
Oh yeah,
And he put up what 10 Ks?
10 Ks in 6 innings.
Damn right. And I
Gotcha.
called that shit. That was crazy. All right. And then maybe the Twins come out as wild
Wild
card
card.
right there.
Mhm.
American League East, I have the Rays.
Wow.
They're always good, bro. Like they're so consistent. The Yankees, they always have a lot of injured players. Their pitching is aside from Garrett Cole, I'm not too thrilled about their pitching. Even
Mm-mm.
Rodon, who they just signed,
Dude,
I think
last season the Yankees only won as many games as they did because Aaron Judge hit 60 home runs.
exactly. Like that's their guy right there.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple years they're gonna be really good because they got a lot of young talent coming up, right? And then if anything, I see the Blue Jays coming out as the wild card right there
Gotcha.
because they have it. They just got to put it all together.
Cool.
They got young
Um,
talent. They got pitching. You know, I just feel like they just need to put it all together and stop getting injured. And they're gonna be solid, bro.
That's the
They'll be
story with
solid.
every team, Doug.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then all
And
right, so hold on.
go for it.
National League East. I'm going with the Braves. I like their pitching a lot better than these other teams. The Mets, they signed Verlander and Scherzer. You already saw they're injured.
Old man syndrome.
They're they're up there, dude. Like what are we saying? You know what I mean? Like Father Time is gonna catch up eventually.
I think it already has.
Um,
That's what I was saying earlier with Scherzer with the dead arm and
yep,
Verlander on the IL already.
yep. I could have gone Phillies, but man, I just don't like the Phillies. I don't know, man. There's something about their pitching that doesn't catch my
They don't
attention.
have it.
If it ain't Nola, it's nobody. Like Wheeler's always hurt, you know. And then who do you have after that? Who's their
Ranger Suarez. Ranger
Suarez?
Suarez. Suarez should actually be pretty good this season. I think that banning the shift is going to help him a lot because he's not a high strikeout guy either. He induces a lot of ground balls. Bohm at third, he's a terrible defender. Trey Turner isn't the best defender.
Yeah. I mean, I just
Reese
I don't
Hoskins
see
was
it.
a terrible defender, but he's not even there anymore.
But that division is pretty strong. So you can literally say, okay, the Braves are gonna come out on top, and you can go either Mets, Marlins, or Phillies as a wild card there. Because I even think the Marlins have a chance. They got a lot of young talent, and their pitching is. If Trevor Rogers can put it together, they have a pretty decent rotation. And then you already know about the Central. I picked the Cardinals, and then obviously Dodgers in the West. I just wanted to clear that up because I had a fucked up connection.
You
here.
missed the whole show pretty much.
Yeah, I know. My bad, y'all. My bad.
You're
My
good.
bad.
You're good. All right. So I haven't given my prediction of the West, and I kind of want to give my prediction of the West. I'm a Dodger
picking the
fan, and
Rockies.
I understand, but I'm a realist as well. And I understand that the Dodgers do have an uphill battle against the Padres. And I'm not just saying that because I want Padres fans to feel better about themselves. It's not that. It's just I just feel that the Dodgers have a better stacked team. Their lineup is a little bit better, veteran presence at the beginning of the lineup. Then you have your rookies at the end, which are batting like veterans. Look at their style of batting. They're learning from the veterans. They're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, taking pitches, making the pitchers pitch a lot more. You're looking at the Padres. Will, did you say 1 through 5, maybe 1 through 4, right?
1
The
through
lineup
4.
1 through
Yeah.
4. I agree with that. With the Padres.
Yep.
Now, I do see them making majority of their hitting up there. Now, with their struggle, who's going to be that one hitter that steps up? Cronenworth, he's there.
It's got to be Cronenworth. They don't have
It
anybody
has
else.
to be.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be.
Exactly.
So I feel Cronenworth is not that type
Grisham?
of player yet.
Grisham's
Because
going to
Basura.
bat under 200.
Basura.
Just saying.
So-
He did
so
okay.
that's what I'm
He's
saying.
200 with 25 home runs.
So that's
He's
what
a-
I'm
he's a
saying.
Joey Gallo.
So then you're looking at the pitching staff. If you put them together, if you put them against each other, the Dodgers wins that part of the talk. So hitting, I give it a little. I guess I'll give the edge to the Padres just because of the 4 players that they have. All right, but everything that I said right now with the Dodgers is what's going to take them to win the division. Now you're looking at defense. Defense wins games. What did I say about the Cardinals? I know pitching. You guys are big on pitching, but now with the shift is not there anymore.
It's
The shift
different.
is going to eliminate so many things that we're going to be like, oh man, this guy is batting 30 points higher than what he did last year, or 20 points that he did last year. So we're looking at those factors this year. We're looking at time. We're looking at different aspects of the game this year. We're looking at the game moving a lot faster. You're looking at the Machado, that he was one of the first ones that got a violation in spring training, if you guys don't remember. So
Yeah.
these things, as we go on in the season and we understand the game a lot better and we get used to this game, I feel like the Padres are going to struggle a little bit because of that. So I'm picking the Dodgers. I know I'm a Dodger fan. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're just picking the Dodgers because you're a Dodger fan. No, it's just you got to look at all these little things that are happening around the league, around the game, and the players. So you have rookies combined with veterans in that dugout, and that's going to help out the game a lot. The Padres don't have that. I just feel their camaraderie is just too many ego people there, too many high-priced players in the same team.
Yep.
Sometimes
I
it's not a
agree.
good thing.
They're all competing with each other.
Think about that.
That's one of the problems in the Padres lineup is like,
Bro,
I think in their heads, like you said, their ego is just so big. They're like, I'm better than the guy in front of me.
Three of those guys are maybe top 15, easy.
Yeah. Easy.
3 of them.
Easy.
Like,
Easy.
holy shit, bro. Like, that's crazy.
But
not
you
taking
could
away from the Padres though. They're a stacked team. They're a stacked team.
Of course.
And they're gonna make the wild card. And maybe I'm wrong, but like I do see the Padres making something. They got to do it this year though. They can't do it next year. If they don't sign, right fielder. I always forget his name. Soto. If they don't sign Soto, I think that's it for them. And it sucks. I know like there's Padre fans on here that watch this show, but it's just I just feel like too many egos can hurt that team. And Tatis is one of them. Machado is one of them. And I don't know about the shortstop.
Bogarts.
Bogarts.
Oh yeah, Xander. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I like him, bro. I feel
he's
like
really
he's
good.
more of a team guy. I feel like he's more of a team guy. Like you saw what he did with Boston. It was outstanding, bro. Like they got Devers out there and stuff. You know, I mean that's what you need.
Yeah.
You know, like a young hothead it's never gonna help your team, man.
Yeah. I feel like Machado's turning a leaf though. He doesn't.
He is
no longer strikes me
as
that hothead,
I agree.
And I feel like Xander and Manny are gonna be those veteran presence for Tatis, since Soto's pretty mature for his,
for his age. Yeah, I agree. But he's looking for that contract, so he's gonna come and play every single day to try to get that huge contract.
Season. I'm calling it right now.
Monster, are you calling them MVP?
Soto, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm gonna call Juan Soto MVP.
Yeah.
Well, man. I picked the Dodgers. Who else picked the Dodgers? I think
I'm going.
I'm the only one that didn't.
The one wearing the Dodger hat.
Hey, look. This is the deciding factor if the Dodgers are going to win the division. Max Muncy.
This
Max
dude says
dude. Bro, I was going to say that shit.
Max Muncy batted 190 last season, and he was terrible. But he was also coming off. Coming off of a crazy elbow injury. You guys saw the hyperextension of the elbow when he was out for a really long time. He came back last season and he was playing through the injury. He was playing through the pain. And he really didn't look like himself until the end of the season. The last 2 months of the season, Max Muncy was batting over 250 and he had 9 home runs. If we can see him come out of the gate like that, like yesterday, he didn't really have the best game in the world yesterday. He had a few strikeouts, but that's not what Max. That's not what Max.
Don't worry about it.
No, 5, man.
But
all swinging too.
What Max Muncy does. Max Muncy does not strike out like that.
No,
I don't know.
He's gonna adjust, bro. He's gonna adjust. He's gonna get.
From what I've been noticing, right. From what it looks like, Muncy's always not swinging at the pitches that he should be swinging at. It's like usually the first or second pitch, and then he's always he doesn't look right. He doesn't look right to me.
That's the thing with Muncy is that's why he bats 250. If he was swinging at more pitches that were inside the zone, he'd probably have a little bit higher batting average. But the 250 batting average kind of reflects the type of batting style that he has, and he definitely has the power. He's pain-free now, so he's going to be able to swing and swing hard. And he's one of the only guys in on the Dodgers that could probably crack 30 home runs.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
JD Martinez?
Maybe, but JD Martinez had like 12 home runs last season.
So how many did Muncy have?
I don't know about that.
Well,
no, I don't think JD Martinez
only had 12 you're ragging on your own team, bro. Come on.
I'm being real, man. What are you talking about? Is this a Dodger podcast or a fan?
You
I'm just saying.
Man. This dude.
I'm kidding.
With
I'm
a
just
Dodger
saying.
hat picking the Padres. Come on, man.
JD Martinez had
I went through
16
4,
home
went
runs
through
last
5.
season.
Who?
JD
JD
Martinez,
Martinez?
16 home runs last season.
Yeah, I don't
There
think
you
he's
go.
cracking 30, bro. I don't
No, he's
think
not
so.
cracking
Not
30.
at a pitcher friendly ballpark, dog. Come on.
Exactly.
Come
James
on, dog.
Utman.
It
Let's
was
be
a
real
lot
here.
easier in Boston to hit home runs for him than it is in
Yep.
Dodger Stadium.
Well, whatever
louder.
it is, dude, whatever it is, he's gonna help out the younger hitters because he's a patient hitter, just like you said. Muncy's
See,
a
I like
patient hitter.
that.
Muncy's a money ball guy. He comes from the Athletics, remember? So
Yeah.
he's gonna take a lot of pitchers. He is a 250 hitter. No matter what you call it, he's a 250 hitter. He's a 250 hitter, 30 home runs. I agree with that. And if he comes to those numbers this year, definitely the Dodgers do win the division, like hands down.
Bro,
Right?
like, yeah, to me, he's like the X factor, bro. Like,
Yeah.
if he can get his shit right from a couple years ago, game over. Game over, dog.
Game
And
over.
in addition to like what everything that we're talking about, I feel like the Padres had put so many pieces together that they don't have that chemistry. All of the Dodgers players have been together at least for a year, and most of them
Exactly.
have been there more than that. The only one that's
Exactly.
only been there for a year was Freddie Freeman. Everyone else has been there for a long time, except for the rookies. But a lot of the rookies were playing in spring training with the MLB players, and a lot of these guys that have been coming up in the last few seasons from the Dodgers organization, they're all kind of playing together now. And Gavin Lux is still in the
He's in-
dugout.
Yep.
So all these guys that are coming up played with Gavin Lux in the minors.
Yeah.
They
Dude,
probably
and
played with
dude,
Will Smith also.
bro, not only that, you got a Vargas coming up. Like, I just love the way that the Dodgers develop their players, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like, you lose one, you gain two. It's ridiculous, bro. It's amazing, bro. Their farm system is always top 5, always.
Yeah.
Wait,
losing Trey Turner was a huge hit, but we already have a leadoff hitter in Mookie Betts.
Exactly.
So
Hey,
I like.
Can I say something before you guys keep going? I think
Go
this is
for
the
it.
most I've heard Javi speak, dude.
Dude, you know what it is? Like I started looking into like the metrics and the the numbers and everything, bro, and it's just like eye opening about how much shit I've missed like throughout all the years that I've been watching baseball. Like, I always was a Dodger fan, and that was it. I
Yeah.
knew they're good players, they're bad players, this and that. And now, like, ever since like I joined, fantasy baseball with you guys, it's like it's opened up a whole bunch of doors. Like, dude, I know this guy coming up, from the
Mhm.
minors, AAA, AA, high school. Like, dude, I never saw baseball the way I see it now.
Especially
it's,
now that we have our keeper league, so you really have to pay attention.
Dude,
to
that
these
was
dude, I
fun
went
as
young this year,
hell.
bro. I went
That
young
was
this
fun.
year, bro. I don't
That
know,
was
man.
fun. That was
I don't know
fun.
if that hurt. I don't know if that's gonna help me or hurt me, but it shit was fucking like, you really have to use your brain. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, I told my wife, like, I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Dude, I had a lot of fun on this one. To be honest, I
Yeah.
had a lot of fun on this draft because you get to pick, you get to choose, or pay out who you want on your team.
Yep,
If you really
yep.
want someone on your team, you got to
You're gonna
put
pay
down your
big
your
money.
money. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I got a good team, like better than any other team that I've had in the past seasons.
Really?
So, yeah, I think I do.
It was cool, bro. It was cool, man. I enjoyed it.
Because now I get to pick the players that I really want and put the money for it. So that kind of makes it funner because it's like, okay, look, if I really want Aaron Judge on my team, I'm gonna have to spend $50 for him. So am
Or
I willing
more.
to do that? Exactly. Am I willing to do that? I spent $43 on him, dude, and I got Aaron Judge, and he was going projected average.
Dude, you got him cheap, bro.
$52.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
That
So
was awesome, bro.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That was so much fun. Like the bidding part and everything. I mean, it was fun. It was. We should keep it that way. Keep going, moving forward. Oh man, here comes Tony. Watch out. What do you got to say, Tony?
He was eating tacos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing. I gotta say, what refill? That's man. I'm over here eating. What happened to bologna? I'm back, man. I was grubbing. I was eating some piggies.
All
Some
right. Well,
carnita
there you go.
tacos. But
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
speak on the trade
I
you're gonna
like what.
make. Yeah, go
Huh?
for it, Tony. What are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, I like drafting this year around too. Having the salary draft was pretty cool, and it being a keepers league, it's definitely making me pay attention a lot more to what's going on.
A lot more. So they're
Uh,
gonna be more. They're gonna be more mad at you because you're playing on
yeah,
fantasy baseball.
yeah. My wife is definitely giving me the death stares and
He
like,
giving you the side eye, bro.
Why are you up till 1 in the morning? And I was like, "Yo, this
Damn,
guy
1 in
from
the morning.
Indiana,
I mean,
who's he's got a K9 of 12-1.
1 in the morning. What are you doing up at 1 in the morning? Go to sleep, dude.
Oh,
God
man.
damn.
hey, 1 in the
I'm
morning for
working
you
at the
guys
time.
is
Shit.
is work time for me because I go in at
Yep,
4,
me too.
3 hours
At
ahead
4
of
in the
you.
morning. Well, Javi's awake all night, man. He's a night owl.
Damn right, baby.
When I wake up
I don't
at
know how
4 in
you
the
do it,
morning.
man. I actually just applied for a different position at work, so hopefully my schedule is going to change a little bit. I'll be able to
Nice.
go to bed a little bit later.
Nice.
I hate you.
Well,
I hate
hopefully you get it, and man, once you get it, we'll announce it and congratulate.
Hey, what
you
was
on
this
the
trade
show
that
for
you're
sure.
that Jose's talking about, Will?
So I said there's a guy on your team that I wanted to see if you're actually willing to trade. I don't even know what I want to offer you yet for
Let me
him.
guess. Let me guess.
McCallahan.
No,
We can
No,
veto that,
that's
Tony.
no. Okay, hold on. It's either him or Joe Ryan or Kershaw.
No, I already offered you something for
Damn,
Kershaw.
man.
You didn't want it, but actually, I'm eyeing Brendan Donovan.
Oh, Rockies.
Nah,
Oh,
Cardinals.
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 I don't. Do I have him?
Yes, you do. I think.
Oh,
No, he
shit.
doesn't. No,
I
he
don't. I
doesn't.
don't have him.
Somebody else has Donovan.
Yeah, I don't have him.
Who has him?
Somebody
It
else.
ain't me.
It ain't me, so why are you talking to me?
Oh,
Yeah.
Hefe. It's Hefe. I gotta talk to Hefe. My bad.
Oh
Not
shit!
bad.
Chisholm had a home run. Fuck yeah! Let's
Yeah.
go.
Hey, Carlos.
Huh?
For being a Dodger fan, you sure love Manny Machado, Bogarts.
Hey,
Dang.
you guys didn't get him. Hey,
Yeah,
you guys didn't get him. Hey, you guys didn't get him. You guys didn't get him. You guys didn't get him. I didn't say the Padres don't have good players. They do have good players.
You know, when it came to third base,
You
I
got
was
mad
looking
though.
at
You saw that? You
Machado.
didn't do it. You didn't do it. You got
You
mad.
didn't
I
do
was
it.
looking at Machado when you guys were bidding on him, and I gave myself a cap of like $27 or something like that, and I didn't want to go over that because I know that Machado, I'm probably going to be able to keep him for maybe 3 seasons, but this guy's already like 32 years old, and he's just going to start slowing down. So I actually went after the younger guy, and I got Austin Riley. Austin Riley is going to be my keeper for years.
I want to win now, man. I'm in the Padres mentality right now.
I like Riley.
I'm in the win now. Forget the next year. I want to win now.
This year, they're your only year, bro.
Exactly. This is going to be my only year that I can win it, and I think I got a good team to do it. So
Yeah.
this dude with the Padres hat with the it says the Padres going to win the freaking division with a Dodger hat. I just want to keep this going. Man.
Yeah. Shout out. That's my bro right there. Shout out to my bro.
Well, there you go, man. I hopefully I said it right the way he wanted me to or wanted to
Damn
sound,
right.
you know. So,
Yeah, damn right.
All right, so
Hey,
what's next,
real
man?
quick, what
Yeah.
did you guys think about the trade that I did with Kevin in the league? I already know what Tony thinks because he was texting me earlier, but I want to know what Javi.
I don't.
I don't even know what trade that was.
So I
Well,
traded
I don't pay
away.
attention.
I traded away Logan Gilbert,
for
and I got
Muncy.
Max Muncy in return.
I don't know, man.
I didn't like it because it's a keepers league and Logan Gilbert
Yup.
is in his second year.
Yep.
He can be anything. And Muncy, these past 2 years, we've seen what he could be this year, and who's to know what next year holds for him? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather have.
Yeah, I don't
Logan.
like it. I like Logan Gilbert as a pitcher. Muncy, Yeah, it's like Tony said. Like you don't know.
The thing with
Gilbert's
Tony,
young.
the thing with that what Tony was talking about, that he said, it's a keepers league, and he, possibly for next year, Logan Gilbert's a better keeper than Muncy. That's possibly true, but the thing is, I already know who I'm keeping for next season, and I'm not keeping Logan Gilbert or Max Muncy. So I'm trying to upgrade my
Yeah,
second base spot.
I see that.
I'm
that's
trying
when
to
I
Yeah,
kind of
upgrade
agreed with
my
Will.
yeah.
second. Like
The
I'm
way that things are going, like with this whole new drafting that you did, I could see that. I could
Yeah.
definitely see that.
Okay.
So it's like I already have Austin Riley as my third baseman, and I have Jose Altuve, who I'm probably also going to keep for a few more seasons at second base. But we have a middle infield spot and a corner infield spot, and Max Muncy covers both of those. So
Right.
Max Muncy is a $27 keeper. I don't think that I'm going to keep him for that much next season.
I don't understand how he went so high.
That's why I
don't
stopped
either.
bidding on him, dude. I mean,
I don't either.
Max.
It
I
was
probably
like,
would have went
don't
Max.
either.
Like,
everybody a Dodger fan out here?
Dude, I don't know if you guys noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I picked some random ass dudes that didn't. I had no idea who they were, and people were bidding for them. I'm like, good thing I just put $2 on them. Like I don't want them,
Bro.
So I kind of use a little bit of strategy that way.
Yeah, that's
So
strategy.
look, I'm gonna say something right now. I'm I'm gonna say something right now that I'm kind of upset about. So you know how we were tripping about? Well, I was tripping about how like the whole draft is going, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go to work, right? So as
Yeah.
I'm heading to work, the draft is already done, and then when I get to work, I see all these fucking prospects flying off the boards, right? Fucking Will took like all three of the ones that I wanted right off the fucking bat. I'm like, mother, dude,
Yeah,
I
man.
was so mad about that shit. I'm like I was eyeballing that catcher from the Mets, dude.
Oh yeah. Francisco
Yep.
Alvarez. See that's
Alvarez.
one of my
Yep.
prospect keepers for next year. I locked him up quick.
Exactly.
And I also
So-
got
so
Ellie
the
De La
way that
Cruz
the-
from the Reds. My third baseman of
Yep.
the future, Doug.
And then Painter from the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I was like,
Mhm.
damn, like so now when when you're drafting in this league, it's like way different. Like now you're looking ahead. You're not in the now, right? You're looking at young players, but now you're looking at prospects. And the fact that we're doing that now is pretty cool because now you're digging deeper into like statistics and what they're doing in AAA and AA and all this stuff.
There's
So
another word for that. There's another word for that, Javi. We're becoming more nerds than what we really are. Like
That's okay. That's okay.
We're becoming more deeper nerds into the game that we really
Yeah,
supposed
right?
to. Like we're going into the
Yeah.
minor leagues, single A, like where they grew up. That
Right.
Where they
type of
coming
shit.
from, yeah.
Exactly.
Like, he's
Like
from the
that's-
DR, bro. You have to get him.
the plantain. So there's a question here. What do you guys think about Mookie Betts? Man, he's a Dodger. What do you mean? What else
Yeah.
can we say about Mookie Betts? The Mooks.
Possible MVP, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Possible?
Okay.
Yeah.
He
He's
can-
great.
He can do it. He's definitely
Gold Glove. He's probably going to win Gold Glove in right field for the National League. He can also play infield, so there's a lot of versatility there. He's going to hit close to 300,
Yeah.
probably like 280, 285, maybe a little bit higher because the shift has been banned this season, so it might help him out a little bit. I could actually see some more stolen bases increasing for Mookie Betts because of the size of the base increase.
Pizza boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Pizza
I
boxes.
could see a possible like a 30-20 season from Mookie Betts this year with a 290 batting average. I think that would be
That's
his
awesome.
ceiling.
Did you guys give opinions on the clock rule? We've had shows already on it. I know
Carlos hates it. That's
No,
the big
I'm-
takeaway.
Well, I
It's a big
I have to get used to it. So
Yeah.
it's just gonna take a little bit of time. I'm old school. I like the way that it used to be. Cause look, if you really think about it, and we didn't have enough time to do it on any show to talk about the WBC being the last time we're gonna see a sport or a baseball game that's not clocked and it's not based on the clock. And look how exciting it was. To me, it was really exciting to watch all those games without the clock. But I'm not saying that the new
pace
way of
play was
baseball.
also a lot faster, and they were
It
using a
was.
juice ball.
Well, I mean, whatever it was, I have to get used to the time. And back in the days, because I did a little bit of research. Back in the 70s, the games lasted 2 hours and 30 minutes. You know, what was different from then to now? You know, like people were taking
Starting
their time.
pitchers staying in the
Exactly.
game for
They
8,
were
9 innings.
Exactly. They were pitching, they were huffing and puffing all 9 innings. If you didn't go all 9 innings, you sucked. And that's how it was back
Yeah,
then.
right.
You know, so now, like, you could kind of see maybe the pitchers going beyond the 6th, 7th inning now because they're on that groove. They're going, they're moving,
Yeah.
they're finding their strike zone. So that I kind of like, but it took me a little bit to understand that. It took me a little bit to kind of see that. So I do feel like maybe by maybe in a month or two, I'll be like, "What clock?
You won't
Clock
even
is part of
notice
the
it.
base."
Yeah,
Yeah,
you won't
exactly.
even
I won't notice it. I won't.
You don't notice it
I won't
until you
notice it.
actually see it on the screen. And like when I was watching the Dodgers game,
They
this
don't really put
morning,
it on the screen.
they do, just not every
On the
at bat.
bottom
Yeah,
clock,
yeah.
where the I guess where the balls and strikes are at. That's where they put it.
Yeah,
It's right there.
exactly.
So look, just don't get up and go to the restroom because you might miss something. That's
For real.
the truth.
Honestly,
Yep.
I think that I have fallen in love with the pitch clock. I think it was a really good addition to baseball. What I don't like is only being able to try to pitchers only being able to pick off twice. I think that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
It's
I
like a
really
lot of
don't.
times, like if a pitcher picks off, sometimes it's just to waste time, but most of the time it's because you don't want him to get a big enough lead to be able to take second base. So that's part of the mind game that I think needs to stay part of the game.
Right.
There's I think 15 seconds with no runners on and 20 seconds with runners on base. I think that's fine. I don't think pitchers need any more time than that, and hitters don't need any more time than that either. Especially like a lot of these guys are already used to it playing with these rules in the minor leagues and in college anyway.
Well, they're thinking about kind of changing it. I'm not changing it completely, but they're thinking of tweaking it if it needs to get tweaked. So
Maybe
this is
just add one, because to be honest, it's just going to be a loophole if you don't have a limit on it. It's just going to be a loophole. If people,
I did hear.
Oh,
this,
you're
though.
tired?
Right.
Just toss it, soft toss to first base.
Yeah, you're right.
Soft
You're
toss
right.
to third base while I catch my breath, while I gather my thoughts, while I get back in the zone. I'm just gonna toss it to first base. So
Yeah, I didn't
I
even
think
think about that.
having a limit is good. If two interferes too much, I think like Carlos said, let's see how the season plays out. If we need to tweak as we're going, maybe increasing it to 3 instead of having it at 2 would be okay, because it does kind of give them, the pitchers should be, like I kind of, was it Ronald Acuna who got it early? He got him early. Like he got them to throw to first base early. So he knew like on the next one, there's no way you're going to throw it over here because you've already allowed 2. So he got like a big jump. He was already running. As soon as he made the move, he was already taking off.
Gone.
Because
And a
he knew
bigger
it wasn't
lead.
going to come. It wasn't going to come. Like you can't throw it over here. I automatically get the base anyways.
And
Yeah.
that's
So,
something that like Will has said before on the show. Baseball is one of those adjusted games where a player has to adjust to the game, and it's going to take a little bit of time during the season. The problem that I do have is that magic moment in the 9th inning. You know how they take their time, and you know that World Series atmosphere and that build up.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like it. I mean, I'm not saying it should change.
You
But
were
that's
there,
what I'm
bro.
gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss that time, the hitter calling time, full count, bases loaded, that Kirk Gibson moment, That
Or
Kirk
the
Gibson
announcers
moment.
having, the
Yeah,
people
that
that
to
are
express a little bit.
telling because they're gonna talk like this and
Yeah. It's gonna sound like soccer. It's gonna sound like soccer.
So I can see it that way. I hope that maybe MLB looks at it and just says, you know what, 1 through 8, we're gonna keep these rules. 9th inning, we still. I would probably say 9th inning, just extend it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like give it another 15 seconds, give it another 10 seconds, because it's really not that much,
Or
Yeah.
you could so the I forgot what the rule is called, but the extra base runner in the 10th inning, that's eliminated in the playoffs. So why not make the pitch clock a mainstay for the regular season? But then once the playoffs come around, there is no pitch clock, and there is no limit to how many times you can throw over.
Well, that's
Because
the
I
thing,
think
though.
That's when it matters the most, anyway.
But that's the thing. If you're playing in the season with time and everything, it's gonna kind of defeat the purpose when you get to playoffs because it's gonna change the way you play, and it might change. Like remember what I said about the Padres having that chance to like get adjusted to the time clock. If they get to the playoffs, then you have to change it up again. So I'm not change it completely, but like maybe they are gonna get to a point where like the ninth inning needs to be a little bit more special than what it seems to be right now with the time. So I don't know.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
So like it's just that those magic moments that are happening that happened back in the days, and no matter what we say, we're all old school. Whether you say I like the new clock, I don't like the new clock, we're all old school when it comes to the ninth inning because that ninth inning is kind of special. I feel,
Dude, check
you know,
check it. Like you'll notice that once playoffs hit, how people are gonna react to it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that's how I see it. Like right now, nobody notices it. It's there. It is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
And then once playoffs come, you're gonna pay attention. Like, hey, wait, what?
yeah,
Strikeout? What
Yeah.
the hell? You
I
know what I
still
mean?
remember 2018 when the World Series fell on Halloween night, and I'm walking around with my kids, and I'm watching the World Series on my
On
phone,
your phone.
you know,
Oh, bro. Yep.
and
yeah.
Kenley Jansen on the mound, ninth inning, and
Mm-mm.
Why you like to bring? Oh man, why you like to bring bad memories? Dude? God
Kylo's
damn it.
like, no.
Oh my God. Will always likes to bring those bad memories, man. God
Yeah,
damn, I'm not
it's
gonna sleep
horrible.
today.
what I'm saying is like just that anticipation of like constantly just looking at my phone and looking back, looking at my phone, looking back. At least with the pitch clock now, you can kind of time it to know like when the pitch is coming. So if you
Yeah.
need to go and do something, you need to go do a bathroom break, all right, I got this amount of time, I need to be back by this.
Gotcha.
7 seconds.
All right, guys. I think we went over the hour mark. We're in an hour and 30 minutes. So we'll
Yeah,
give
we kind of saw
each one
that
of you.
coming with all
Yeah.
four of us on here.
we'll give each one of you guys 1 minute to say your piece and say everything. But before we go into that, I want to say basketball didn't have time back then when it comes to free throws and all that stuff. They had to implement that clock for them to shoot that free throw. So there's more game now than there was back then. So they got adjusted to it, just like baseball needs to get adjusted to this time. Now we get to see more play than to see time wasted. All right, I'll leave you with that. Go ahead, Will.
Ooh,
Start
you
with
wrote that
1
down,
minute.
didn't you?
Nah, man, it just came up in my head right now.
Yeah,
The
right.
heart. He says from the heart.
No, I thought about that
Scripted.
in my sleep, dude. I think breathe baseball, and use the restroom baseball, man, all the time.
There you go. We got that
All right,
Giants shit in the back. Let's go.
So
exactly, that's the toilet seat.
my final
Will.
thought after this show is I think we're going to see a 2022 World Series rematch. I think it's going to be Braves and Astros again.
Oh,
Oh shit.
nice prediction. Nice prediction. Who's taking it
Wow.
though?
I don't want to.
Putting you on the spot.
I think the Astros are going to win it again.
Damn, back to back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, you
And
got
now
me
I'll just
thinking now.
I'll go crawl in the corner and cry.
Get your 2017.
Suck your
blanket
thumb
and
while
do
you're
that.
at it.
This dude got a Dodger hat saying the Astros are going to win the World Series again.
Exactly.
With a World Series Dodger hat on.
This
My hat's pretty
dude.
dope, huh? My hat's pretty dope.
I like it. I like it. I love
Like,
it,
I got
actually.
the
It has all the
2020
World
right
Series.
there.
Yeah.
Nice. The 2020. Tony, what you got?
Nothing really. It's just that I am a Dodger fan, and that I'm still picking the Dodgers to go over the Padres. So
Now you change it? Now you change it.
no. I'm saying
Just like-
like we're gonna be the wild card, but like this time we're gonna beat them in the the division
series.
Yeah,
okay.
that's why the other guy. What was it? Your brother?
Yeah.
Javi?
Yeah.
That was your
Yeah.
brother? Yeah. Tell your
Yeah.
brother that he didn't hear me out all the way, bro.
you gotta hear it all the way through.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
yeah, that's my takeaway.
Cool. All right, Tony. I mean, Javi. What's your
Jeez,
last minute?
Javi.
Javi,
Now, so First thing I want to say is it's pretty cool to have all four of us on here, even though you can't see my beautiful face. Um, but it was cool to rant with you guys about this. I will give you my prediction for the World Series. Yankees Dodgers.
Oh,
Damn.
Been waiting for
Dodgers
that.
Winning the World Series, and that's
biggest
not being
money
biased.
payday of baseball history, right there. If that happens,
That's
Yep.
been that's
I I tell you, like, the Yankees, um, I'm not convinced about their pitching, but they got a lot of offense, dude. And I feel like this might be that year where they actually go all the way. And the Dodgers, they're there. They're there. It's like I said, to me, Max Muncy is the X factor. And the back end of that rotation.
okay.
Um, it's always been the bullpen, right? Not anymore. I think it's the back end of that rotation. And if they can get that together and stay healthy, I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series this year.
Wow. I hope
Boom.
so, man. I want to celebrate that. I
Boom.
actually want to go to I want to see a parade. I want to see them win it in Dodger Stadium.
But you
I
saw
actually-
them win it.
Yeah, but
Regardless, you saw them win
wasn't-
it, bro.
It wasn't.
not
at
Oh,
the
you
Dodger
were on
Stadium.
TV.
not
You
the
were on
same.
TV. I remember
the
that
same.
shit, bro. Dude,
It's
I
not the
was I was
same.
working. I was at work, and I was watching that shit on my phone. And then when the Dodgers won it, they were flashing to all the fans, and then I see Carlos, and I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck just happened? I just saw my boy
with,
on
with
TV."
no mask
I-
on, and then he gets in
Dude.
trouble at work the next
I
day.
get
Right?
in trouble
And then-
at work.
Dude, you got in trouble?
Yeah, they didn't let me go back until like
Dude,
it came out negative. Yeah, so it's all
Dude,
cool. It's all
I
good.
hit
It's
up
all good.
Ernesto, fool. I was like, "Bro, did you see the fucking game? Carlos was on TV, dude."
He's broadcasting that shit. And I was like, yeah. All right. Well, we reached that point
That
in
was awesome,
time that
dude.
we got to
That was
go
awesome.
and log off. Good segment from everybody. It was a pleasure to have all the Real Talk Baseball. I want to say analysts, I guess, fantasy baseball analysts, and gurus or whatever you want to call it. We were cool. I do want
We
to
the
say we
pros.
do have 2 shows, and Will, a lot of people were messaging and say, "What happened to Will? What happened to Will?" It's not. They think we're mad, dude, and it's not that. It's just we want to make the
They
show
like
a
Will's
lot
numbers.
bigger.
we need a Real Talk Baseball network, not just
Exactly.
one
They
show.
like
So,
Will's
Exactly.
mustache.
trying to
That's
grow.
why.
grow, and the best way to do that is to just get more exposure. And
Yeah.
twice a week is better than once a week. And
Exactly.
unfortunately, since I'm on the East Coast, Carlos is on the West Coast, time just sucks for us. Because if I work on a Saturday morning and Carlos doesn't get home until 7 o'clock at night, that's 10 o'clock at night for me.
It's
and
late.
I have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's there's no ill will. We're still all homies. Tony shows
Exactly.
up whenever he can,
Word.
even though he doesn't text back. He
Hey,
just kind of shows up.
I show up.
Hey,
Yeah.
Carlo.
Yeah.
Shout out to your boy Ernie Orange, bro, holding it down. I don't know. I never met him, but I think
And
he's
that's
great
the
for the
thing.
show,
That's the
man.
plan.
Hey,
The
he knows his
Oh,
shit,
hey,
man.
dude!
Yeah.
Shout out
The
to
next
Navarro, bro. DeAndre Navarro, awesome, bro. Like, it was a pleasure seeing you live with Carlo and Ernie Orange, man. Awesome.
Cool. That sounds good, man. We're gonna. He wants to come back to the show, and I want to have everybody on there
That'd be
when he comes
fucking
on
That'd
here.
be dope. Yep.
So he's a humble guy. He gave me his number. Like, he's like, I want to do this again. You guys are really cool, like really fun. And it's dude, talking to an MLB player, I want you guys to have the same experience. It's not that I didn't want to, and it's not never like that. I feel like Will said, this is a network. We want to make this a bigger thing. We want to make this a channel. Like it's like it's supposed to be. That's the dream, right? To talk baseball
Yep.
all day, every day. So
Yes, sir.
we'll do that, and we'll get more exposure, so we can get people to get on here and ask them questions, because there was a lot of people asking questions, and there's questions that I know you guys want to ask this guy, like about the game and stuff like that. So I would have him on there. Ernie, like, I want you guys to meet him. He's a baseball head, big time baseball head. He knows his stuff. So like,
Unfortunately, he's a fan of Orange.
So that's we'll talk about that once we have them, so you can ask them why is it orange. So but we have that on there. We'll have that on there. Yeah, and
Orange County.
like just want to clear that up. Like Will said, no one's fighting. We're just trying to make this grow because we do see that we want the game to grow. And even though MLB is not paying us, it doesn't matter. Baseball, that's what we're into. Baseball is the thing that we're into, and that's what we want to grow. And
maybe one day we'll get paid.
Exactly. And if it does happen that way, if someone changes their attitude to where they become someone that they're snotty and stuff like that, then we'll get on them for sure. Yeah.
Give a little backhand.
Yep.
Yeah. We're not behind the scenes.
Hey, we fine, bro. We fine.
We good. All right. From me to you, this is Carlos Baseball. Damn, I can't even do the outro. There's too many people. I'll try to do it as best I can. This is Real Talk Baseball. This is Chavi the Commish, Tony Snap, and Will Power signing out.
Deuces.
See you guys.